Good evening, dear students. Welcome to Sankalp learning classes. So, in the last class, we started the chapter Human Health and Diseases. Okay, so this is the second session. We are going to continue this chapter. So, in this session also, okay. Then, what we studied in the last class? What are the topics we covered in last class? So, the first thing is different types of diseases that is caused by bacteria, protozoa, and some helminthes. So these all diseases we have studied and their symptoms. And very important thing about the immunity, innate immunity and acquired immunity. So these all types of the immunity we have studied in the last class. Now it's time to study about the AIDS. Okay, so here what is AIDS? The full form of AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that is caused by HIV virus, that is human immunodeficiency virus, that is the member of retrovirus group. Okay, acquired immunodeficiency disease, deficiency syndrome, so that is AIDS. Okay, so that is caused by the virus HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So this virus belongs to the group of retrovirus. Okay, so what is the here the AIDS disease, how it transmit from person to the person? So mainly the AIDS disease that is caused, that is transferred through person to person through the sexual contact with the infected person and blood transfusion and contaminated blood and its products, and also infected needles and from the infected mother to the child through the placenta. So there is a different methods of transmission of this disease. Okay, so here AIDS, that is uh, so there is a test that is called as ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, is the diagnostic test that is for the detection of the AIDS. The test that we use to detect the AIDS, that is the ELISA. Okay, so here I use the word that is retrovirus. So how this, what is the speciality of this retrovirus and how the virus that will get multiply in our body? So how the person he get the disease, so that we have to study, that is the replication of retrovirus. Okay, so this is the retrovirus, okay, which have the genetic material, that is the RNA. So in this virus which cause the disease, so that is the RNA core, means RNA as the genetic material they have, and that is that virus that is covered by the protein coat. Okay, so this retrovirus that infect the cell, that is the especially macrophage. Okay, they infect the macrophage cells of our body. So while infecting, they insert the genetic material inside the cell. Okay, so that is the RNA, viral RNA, that is introduced inside the macrophage cell. And you know that in our body, DNA is the genetic material that is present inside the nucleus. So here this RNA that will undergo the reverse transcription. So what is reverse transcription? So you know that transcription means from DNA to the formation of RNA. Okay, that process is called as transcription. But here reverse transcription means from this RNA to DNA will be formed. Okay, DNA is formed in this cell by reverse transcription method. So this is the speciality of the retrovirus, which is able to form the DNA with RNA, so by the process reverse transcription. So here you can observe the formation of the DNA molecule, and this viral DNA molecule that is incorporated with the, that is mixed with the DNA of the cell, and this DNA that produces the RNA. Okay, so that is new RNA is formed by the transcription method, so that develop into a new virus. Okay, these are the viral particles and the protein coat that develops around this RNA particle. Okay, so like this macrophage cell that act as the factory of the HIV virus, means it is producing the, here only one virus is entered, then this virus that will get multiply, that increases its number inside the macrophage cell. So these viral particles, these viral cells, they enter into the T lymphocytes. Okay, so T lymphocytes our body, so they are the main important immune system in our body, right? They produce the B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce the antibodies against the some virus bacteria which enter to our body. Okay, so they attack the T lymphocytes, because T lymphocytes, with the help of T lymphocytes only, B lymphocytes able to produce the antibodies. So when they attack the T lymphocytes, what happens? So B lymphocytes, they are not able to produce the antibodies against the any foreign particles. So as a result, what happens? So the person may get different disease symptoms. Okay, the person not able to protect his body from the infections. Okay, so that leads to the multiple diseases in the human body. Okay, so here you can see the explanation. So what I explained, virus particles are produced and HIV enters into the helper T cells and replicate and produce the progeny viruses. That progeny viruses released to the blood attack other helper T lymphocytes. So because of this, the person may have the weak immune system. Okay, during this period, the person suffers from bouts of fever, diarrhea, and weight loss. Okay, due to the decrease in the number of helper T lymphocytes, the person starts suffering from infections. So that I already explained. Okay, so many bacteria, mycobacterium, virus, fungi, so any foreign particles, foreign organisms, they enter into our body is not able to resist that. So the person's immune system is decreased, right? So it is called as immunodeficiency. So that is called as immunodeficiency, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, so here we use the ELISA test to test the uh, this AIDS. Okay, so this is how the retrovirus that will multiply in the human body. Okay, then how we can prevent the AIDS? How to, what are the prevention methods? So in our country, there is a National AIDS Control Organization, NACO. So that is the governmental organization, and some non-governmental organization also educate the people about the AIDS. So AIDS that will not transfer while by sharing some foods or by using the same toilets, bathrooms, but that may spread by using the blood transfusion, sexual contact with the infected person, from infected mother to the baby. So like this, in this method it will transfer. Okay, so making blood safe from HIV, ensuring that use of only disposable needles and syringes in a public and private hospitals and clinics. Okay, and free distribution of condoms and controlling drug abuse. So these all methods are used to control the or prevent the AIDS. Okay, so this is about the AIDS disease. The next important one, cancer. So what is cancer, how it is, what is the types, how it is caused, and what are the methods used to overcome the cancer? So these all things we are studying. In humans, cell and proliferation that is highly manipulated and regularized by cell division mechanism. So that is the controlled method in our body, cell division. But uncontrolled cell division occurs when the process called contact inhibition fails. So in healthy person, during this process, when cells come in contact with other cells, the process of cell replication ceases. Okay. So here there are mainly two types of the tumors. So the first one is the benign tumors and second one is the malignant tumors. So what is benign tumor and what is malignant tumor? Benign tumor means normally remain confined to their original location. Do not spread to the other location, cause little damage. Okay, that is not so serious. Malignant means mass of proliferating cells called neoplastic or tumor cells. They multiply in an uncontrolled manner, and these cells grow very rapidly, and they just imagine this is the cancer cell. So if this cell, so that invade the surrounding cells also, okay, so that make the surrounding cells also it damage the surrounding cells also, and these cells they divide and actively divide without any restriction. Okay. Cancerous cells escape from the site of origin and move to the distant place by blood. Wherever they lodge, make a normal cell cancerous. This property is called as metastasis. So, malignant cancer, it has the property that is called as the metastasis. That has the property that is called as metastasis. Okay, so this is about the malignant and benign tumors. Then what are the causes of cancer? So physical factors, chemical factors and biological factors are responsible for the cancers. Physical factors like ionizing radiations such as x-rays and gamma rays, chemical factors such as tobacco and smoke, biological factors such as viral oncogenes, proto-oncogenes, oncogenes means cancer causing living organisms, and cellular oncogenes. Some cells also, some modified cells also cause the uh, cancer. So that is example for the biological factors. Then detection and diagnosis. How to detect the cancer? There is a test that is called as biopsy and histopathological study of the tissues. So take out the small tissues and analyzing the tissues under the laboratory condition, that is the biopsy, and by using the x-rays and CTs, that is computerized tomography, and MRI magnetic resonance imaging, and presence of antibodies against the cancer specific antigen. So these all methods, so sometimes they will ask write the methods of detection and diagnosis of cancer. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then treatment for the cancers. Chemotherapy. I hope you heard this chemotherapy. In chemotherapy, certain chemicals so that are used to remove that tumors, so that may affect other organs of our body also. That is the chemotherapy. Radiotherapy. Some radiations are used to uh, control the tumor or remove the tumor. Surgery means by using by removal of that tumors by surgery. Okay, and immunotherapy means by giving some antibodies. The therapy, the cancer treatment is done. That is, so these are the some methods that is used, treatment methods of the cancer. Next one, drug and alcohol abuse. So, what drugs and alcohol abuse? That is the next topic. The drugs which are commonly abused are opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloids. So, how they are obtained? Some are obtained from the flowering plants and some are from the fungi. Here, the opioids are the drugs which bind the specific opioid receptor present in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so opioids that are obtained by the plant, that is opium poppy plant. So you can see the plant opium poppy plants. So this opioids receptors, so they are present in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Heroin, commonly called smack, it is chemically diacetyl morphine. So very important, diacetyl morphine, which is white, odorless and bitter crystalline compound. This is obtained by acetylation of morphine. Okay, so heroin, that is obtained by diacetylation of the morphine. Okay, which is extracted from the latex of the poppy plant, that is Papaver somniferum. The scientific name of the poppy plant, that is Papaver somniferum. This is the Papaver somniferum. Then, generally taken by snorting injection, heroin is the depressant, slows down the body functions. That is about the opioids. And so this is the morphine structure, chemical structure. Then second type of the drug, that is the cannabinoids. So cannabinoids receptor that present in our brain. So these cannabinoids are obtained from the inflorescence of the plant Cannabis sativa. So you can see the plants. This is the plant Cannabis sativa. So this cannabinoids also obtained from the plant inflorescence of this plant. Okay, that is the Cannabis sativa. The flowers, tops, leaves and raisins of cannabis plant used in the various combination to produce the marijuana, hashish, charas and ganja. So generally how they are taken? They are taken by oral ingestion and inhalation also. So that is the cannabinoids. And coca alkaloid, that is obtained from the plant Erythroxylum coca. Okay, this is not Erythroxylum coca. So cocaine or coca alkaloid, that is also drug that is obtained by the plant, that is Erythroxylum coca. So these all scientific names are very important. It interferes with the transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. Okay. Cocaine, commonly called as coke or crack, it is usually snorted. It has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system and producing the sense of euphoria and increased energy. So why people use this cocaine? Because some temporary hallucinating effect, means due to the high euphoria, and increased energy level, so that all it will show because of that hallucinating. Actually not it is increasing the energy, but it feels like that. Okay, so it gives the happiness. So but it is temporary, it is not permanent. Okay, so it is the hallucinating effects. So because of this, so they use the these drugs. Okay, here, some other plants like Atropa, belladonna, and Datura. So this is a Datura plant. So from which the drugs are obtained. So this is the Datura stromium plant. Some drugs. So not all drugs are providing or giving the hallucinating effects. Some barbiturates and benzodiazepines. So these all are used in a medicinal field to help the patients, to kill the depression, or while during the surgery. So these all drugs are used. Okay. Here, morphine is very effective sedative and painkiller and is very useful in patients, means which is used as a painkiller, so who have undergone the surgery. So I already informed that some morphines or some drugs that are used as a painkiller. Okay, so the persons who undergone the surgery. Then several plants, fruits, and seeds having hallucinogenic properties have been used for hundreds of years in folk medicine and religious ceremonies and rituals all over the globe. Here, the which drug obtained from which plant, scientific name of that plant, and where the receptors are present in our body. So these all are very important. Adolescence and the drug or alcohol abuse. So adolescence is the period, so that is the puberty, or from that is also called as teenage, from 13 to 19. Okay, so in that age, physical changes and also hormonal changes, and also you can observe the behavioral changes in the persons. Okay, male or females, in everybody we can see the changes. So in that age, that is the experimental age, means in that age they are going to addict some alcohol use or drugs because of the curiosity. So at that age, so there is a curiosity, and that makes them to experiment. Okay. So once they use it for curiosity, then it will become habit, or it will become, they will become addicted to that, to outcome, to come out from the stress or academic pressure or some other things. Just they escape from the situation instead of facing that, so they use this alcohols, and they get addicted to the drugs. Okay, so addiction and dependence. So here the most important thing is, so once who fails to realize is the inherent addictive nature of alcohol and drugs. He is not able to realize he is addicted to alcohol and drugs. So addiction is the psychological attachment, means without that they are not able to handle the situation. Okay, so they become temporarily well-being, so their body that will become temporarily well-being because of this. Okay, here, uh, so dependence is the tendency of body, so to manifest the characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal syndrome if regular dose of drugs or alcohol is abruptly discontinued. So if the person, so who continuously, who is addicted to the drug or alcohol, suddenly when he stop to take this alcohol or drugs, so he, in his behavior we can observe some symptoms that is called as the withdrawal symptoms. Okay, this is characterized by anxiety, shakiness, nausea, sweating, which may be relieved when the use is resumed again. So if he observe these all characters, so again if we continue that, so that may affect the body, but when he resumed again this, he is able to get out of that addiction. Okay, in some cases withdrawal symptoms can be severe and even life threatening, and the person may need medical supervision. The person, he need the medical supervision, so because of that only he is able to come out from that addiction. Okay, so this is how. the person, that is the addiction and dependence, how he get addicted to the drug and alcohols, and what are the symptoms if he stops that addiction. So that we see in this topic. So these all are very important topics here, mainly about these. Okay, so opioids, that is obtained from the poppy plants or papaver somniferum plant. So where the receptors are present, and what is the chemical name, that is diacetylmorphine is the chemical name. Then cannabinoids, that is obtained from the cannabis sativa. Then different parts of these plants also used as a drug. Okay, then coca alkaloid, that is the cocaine, or erythroxylum coca is the plant, so that native is South America. So these all things are, so they are excessive dosage that cause the hallucination effect. Okay, these all drugs, they cause the hallucination effect. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yes. So, effects of drug and alcohol abuse. What are the effects we can see those who are addicted to the drug and alcohol abuse? The immediate adverse effects of drugs and alcohol abuse are manifested in the form of reckless behavior, vandalism. So we can observe the some harsh behavior and violence with other people, vandalism. So these all things we can observe in that person. And excessive doses of drugs may lead to the coma and death due to the respiratory failure. So excessive drugs that may cause the respiratory failure or heart failure or cerebral hemorrhage. So cerebral hemorrhage, that is also caused due to this drug and alcohol abuse. Then a combination of drugs or their intake along with the alcohol generally results in overdosing and even death. Okay, so it may affect our respiratory system, and it may affect the persons, though those who are addicted to the alcohol, on cerebral or brain, heart failure. So everything, every organs also affected, that we can see here. And behavioral changes, so in that person also we can observe here. Okay, then those who take drugs intravenously, means direct injection into the vein. Intravenously means the injection, the drug injection is directly given to the veins through the syringe, are much more likely to acquire serious infections like AIDS and hepatitis B. You know that AIDS that may transfer from person to person through the infected needles, and so which is not able to cure. AIDS disease that is not able to cure because complete immune system is affected. And hepatitis B, so the person may get some diseases, deadly diseases, chronic diseases like AIDS and hepatitis B. Okay, so that is the second symptom. The viruses which are responsible for these diseases are transferred from one person to another by sharing of infected needles and syringes. Both AIDS and hepatitis B infections are chronic infections, ultimately fatal. Means ultimately it leads to the death. So as I said, so these two diseases are chronic infection that leads to the death of the person. So these both diseases that may transfer through the sexual contact. The use of alcohol during the adolescence may also have long-term effect. So it could lead to the heavy drinking in adulthood. The chronic use of drugs and alcohol damages the nervous system and the liver, that is called as cirrhosis. So the person who addicted to the alcohol from his childhood or from his adulthood, so he may get the some diseases, so that is called as liver failure, so that is the cirrhosis, and the nervous system that is get affected. So these all things we can observe in that person. The use of drugs and alcohol during the pregnancy is also known to adversely affect the fetus. So if the pregnant woman who is addicted to the alcohol, so that also affect the fetus, that adversely affect the fetus growth and the development. Okay. So these are the common effects that we observe in the person who got addicted to the alcohol abuse. Okay. Then another misuse of drugs is what certain sportsmen, so they use these drugs to enhance their performance. So here the some sportsmen they use these drugs which is giving the extra energy feels, that is the hallucination, but it gives the extra energy for this sportsmen. They misuse the narcotic analgesics, anabolic steroids, diuretics, and certain hormones in sports to increase the muscle strength and bulk and to promote the aggressiveness, and as a result increase in the athlete performance. So these drugs sometimes that helps to increase the athlete performance. So in every sports, so there is a medical checkup to detect the sportsmen, so who have taken the drugs or any other hormones or extra things to increase the performance. So if he clears the medical checkup, then only he is able to play in that game. He's allowed to play the game. So many examples I have seen where the uh, sports persons they use the some drugs to increase the performance and they got banned from the sports. So these all things I hope you know in day to day's news. Okay. The side effects of use of anabolic steroids in females include the masculinization. Means some steroids hormones, so they cause the male like features in the females, like increased aggressiveness, mood swings, depression, and abnormal menstrual cycles, excessive hair growth on the face and the body, enlargement of clitoris, and deepening of the voice. So these all masculine characters, so that we can observe in the females. Okay, so these are the side effects of the anabolic use of the steroids in the females. In males, it includes the acne, increased aggressiveness, mood swings, depression, reduction of size of the testicles, decreased sperm production, potential for kidney and liver dysfunction, breast enlargement, premature baldness, enlargement of the prostate gland. So in male, if they use some anabolic steroids, these also drugs. So if the in males it causes the it shows some symptoms, so that includes these all things. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. Yes, this is the effects of drug and alcohol abuse. So how the person shows the different characteristics, change in the behavior, and some diseases, and also some athletes, they show some characteristic features, and male and female changes due to the use of some anabolic steroids. So these all things we have studied in this topic. Okay, so here they will ask what are the changes we can observe in male and female, and what are the effects of these all things they will ask. So the effects that also in teenagers, so the persons who are addicted to the drug and alcohol, we can see the irregular for the school, and lack of interest in studies, and lack of concentration. So these all things we can observe in students those who got addicted to the alcohol and the drug abuse, and weak performance in academics. So these all things also we can observe. Okay. Then prevention and control. So how to prevent this drug and alcohol abuse, usage of this drug and alcohol, and how to protect them, or how to prevent this, and how to come out from this addiction. So that is the main thing. So the first thing is avoid undue peer pressure. So every child has his own personality, and it should be respected and nurtured. A child should not be pushed unduly for perform beyond his her threshold limits, be it studies, sports, or other activities. So sometimes the parents or the pressure from the others, so that leads to the addiction. Okay, so every child that has its own ability, we should not compare the child with the another, and we should not push them to cross their limits. Okay, so they have their own limits. Okay, they have their own threshold limits, and they have their own capacities. So out of these capacities they are not able to perform, that may be in case of studies, or that may be in case of sports, or some other activities. So they are not able to cross their threshold limits. So if we put the if society put the pressure on it, so the person or the child may get addicted to these alcohol and drug to overcome these all. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing is education and counseling. The persons who got addicted to this, they should undergo personal, they should educate, so they should educate by other people, and some counseling should be taken for them. So here, educating and counseling him or her to face problems and stress. You know that some person, they got addicted to come out from their stress. They are not able to face their problems, they are not able to face their situations. To come out of this situation, they addicted to the drugs and alcohol. So here, educating and counseling to the persons with the problems and stresses, to how to face the problems and stresses, and to accept the disappointments and failures as a part of life. So failure will be there, and there is a failures and winning, everything that is the part of a life, we should accept that. So to escape from that situation, we should not addict the drug and alcohol. It would also be worthwhile to channelize the child's energy into healthy pursuits like sports, reading, music, yoga, and the extracurricular activities. To overcome from this, so the child should be engaged with some sports, reading, music, yoga, and other extracurricular activities. Next, third one, seeking help from parents and peers. So, if you get to know the child is addicted to some alcohol or drugs, then immediately it should be informed to some person. Okay, help from parents and peers should be sought immediately, to that they can guide appropriately. Help may even be sought from close and trusted friends, besides getting proper advice to sort out their problems. This would help young to vent their feelings of anxiety and guilt. So some peace, friends and parents, so they should help to overcome this. So sometimes sharing with friends, or they are able to share with that their friends, and sometimes with parents. So the help from the parents and peace, that should be taken to taken for this. Okay, and the last one, looking for danger sign. Alert parents and teachers need to look for, identify the danger signs discussed above. So if the persons or teach if the parents or teachers, if they observe some symptoms like academic, so some addiction, or some weak performance in academic, not only weak performance we consider for that, academic, then also absence for the school continuously, and some other symptoms if we observe, then immediately, so we should inform. And even friends, if they find someone using drugs and alcohol, should not be hesitate to bring to this notice of parents or teachers, in the best interest of the person concerned. So if the friends or anybody who observe the person is get addicted to the alcohol, or he is using the alcohol, so then immediately that should be noticed, or that should be informed to the parents or the concerned persons. Appropriate measures would then require to diagnose the malady and underlying causes. This would help in initiating the proper medical steps or the treatment. If the person is not able to get out of this, so some medical help, so that is used to diagnose this. Okay, some medical help and some treatment and remedies are used to overcome this addiction. So these are the prevention and control of the drug addiction. So this will be come in 5 mark question. As a 5 mark question, they will ask this question. So prevention and the control of the drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, so yes, effects of drug and alcohol abuse, that is also very important. Totally what we studied in this chapter. Okay, just recall what we studied in this chapter. The first thing is about the what is disease. Okay, so diseases which are caused by the virus, bacteria, then fungi, then some helminthes, Helminthus means worms. Helminthus, some worms. So these all disease we have studied. And here causative agent. Causative agent. Causative agent. Symptoms. Symptoms, that is very important. And here life cycle of the malaria, that is very important. Life cycle of malaria. Okay, so that is the very important thing. So symptoms, causative agents, and how the mode of transmission. So these all things are very important in this chapter. Okay, so after that, so you studied about the immunity. Okay, so innate immunity, types of the innate immunity. Okay, so physical, physiological, innate immunity, physical, physiological barriers. So these all things important. And antibody molecule diagram. Antibody molecule diagram, that is very important. And difference between the active and passive immunity, they will ask. Active and passive immunity, vaccination, immunization, these all things are very important. So in today's topic, replication of retrovirus, that is very important. Replication of retrovirus, so that is responsible for the AIDS disease, which caused the AIDS disease. So replication of the retrovirus is important. Then so prevention of the AIDS and causes of the AIDS. Okay, so transmission of the AIDS disease, transmission of AIDS, and cancer, types of cancer, and how to detect the cancer, and what are the diagnosis treatment methods that we use to cure the cancer. So these all are very important. And drugs, so different plants, from different plants we use the, we obtain the drugs. What are these plants and what we obtain from that, and which receptors, the receptors which are present in our body, that is important. Then drug and alcohol abuse, that is the last topic we studied. So effects, that is effects of drug and alcohol abuse, and how to control the drug and alcohol abuse, that is prevention of the drug and alcohol abuse. So these all are the important topics for your CET as well as for your board exam. Okay, so I hope this session is very useful for you people. Thank you. I will continue in the next class.